Before we dive into this whole section, let's again just create an empty folder. I called it O3 Operators, and then in there, as always, create an index.html file and a script.js file. Inside of the HTML, we're going to write that template and simply connect the actual JavaScript file. So in there, we're going to write src script.js. This should connect it. And in here, remember, we do console log test to see whether it's connected. And then we run this. So open with live server. Once that is running, you can right click and then open the console. In there, you can go to the top right and undock it to the side. Once that is ready, we should be able to remove this warnings and simply start coding. You can see the test, this is connected, and let's dive right into the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical operations between numeric operands. So how do we use them in JavaScript? Well, first, let's create two variables. First one is going to be called const a, let's say, and let's make it equal to 5. And then we can do the same thing, but create a variable called b, which can be equal to 10, for example. You can do any numbers you want. Why do we need numbers? Because you do mathematical operations with numbers. So in there, let's test out the arithmetic operators. We are also going to create a let result, which is going to be equal to 0. So this is a changeable variable. Inside of there, let's play with the result. So I'm going to write an inline comment that is going to say addition. And then in there, we can actually test it out. So we're going to make the result to be equal to a plus b. And then after all of that, we are going to simply console log the result. With this out of the way, if we now save the file with Command S, you're going to see on the left side, we do get 15, which means that just like in basic math, the a and b got added together and we added them to the result, which we then console logged, and that's it, that's 15. Pretty simple. Then we also have subtraction. So I'm going to comment this out. Remember, we don't want this code executed. Now we just want to do subtraction. In there, let's also do the same thing. So result is going to be equal to a, but this time minus b. Let's see it. And we do get minus 5. As we said, JavaScript can work with negative values without any problem. And that's it. We do get negative 5. Furthermore, we also have multiplication. So let's write a comment for multiplication. And then in there, same thing again, result is going to be equal to a times b. You write times or multiplication with this asterisk sign. That's it. So again, let's test it out. As you can see, we get 50, which is 5 times 10. And then we have the division as well. So let's do one more thing in there, division. And we're going to make the result to be equal to a divided by b. Again, you do / for division. I have a typo there, so result is equal to a divided by b. Let's test it out. Again, we don't have any troubles because we learned that JavaScript numbers can be floats or decimal values as well. In here, we have 4 of the most basic mathematical operations, but let's test a few more. Here we have an exponent. In there, we are also going to say result is going to be equal to, and then we are going to set a to the power of b. So this is a to the power of b. Let's test it out. So that's 5 to the power of 10. That's a lot. Let's try b to the power of a. That's maybe going to make more sense. That's going to be 10 to the power of 5. Let's test it out. And as you can see, we get the 1 with 5 zeros. So that works. The next operator on the list is not all that common in basic math, but it's common in basic programming. It's called a modulo operator. In JavaScript, we do modulo by using the percentage sign. So we say a modulo b. Now let's explain how it works. This would be the example. Let's say that we have 13, which is a, and then we have 12, which is b. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to change the a to be 13 and then b to be 12. Right now, right here, we're doing the same thing. So I'm just going to move this comment so you can clearly see what's happening. So 13 modulo 12, and then I'm going to bring this right there under the modulo. This is how you would read it. When you divide 13 by 12, the remainder is 1. So we can spread this into multiple lines. Let's write like this. 13 divided by 12. So first we need to do the division. 13 divided by 12 is going to be equal to 1, and then we have the 1 remainder. When you divide 13 by 12, you get 1 because 12 fits 1 time into the 13, and then the remainder is 1. Right now, what we can try to do is we can try to divide 1 by 12. Why 1? Because it's the remainder right there. So if we try dividing the 1 by 12, we're going to get 0 because 1 fits 0 times into 12 and the remainder is still going to be 1. That's exactly why we get 1 right there. As you can see in the console, we do get 1. So let's try it on one more example. I'm going to change the variables to be 15 and 11, for example. And let's see what do we expect to get. So 15 and 11. 15 divided by 11 is 1 because 11 fits 1 time into 15. And then the remainder is 4. Now we are trying to divide that 4 by 11 again. 4 divided by 11 in whole numbers is 0 because 4 fits 0 times into 11, and then the remainder is still going to be 4 because we weren't successful in dividing that one more time, and then the result is, of course, 4. Let's test it out. As you can see, we get 4. The last two operators on our list are increment and decrement operators. So what do they do? It's pretty simple. We just have the result and we can play with the result only. So what we can do is we can say result plus plus. So that's the increment operator. It simply increments the value of result to be 1 more than what it currently is. As you can see, currently the result is 0. So if we save that and console log, we get 1. So that's the increment operator, and the decrement operator is the same, but we have the minus minus instead of plus plus. So just like this, we save it and we get a negative value of -1. The increment and decrement operators are really often used in programming, and it's great to know them. So what we learned in this video so far are the addition operator, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, modulo operator, and the increment and decrement operators. Quite a lot, but you already knew most of this, so that's great.